You know, guys, one of our most precious resources on this planet is water. But there are some scary facts about water that you may not be aware of. Just about everybody on this planet who's ever drank in a glass of water eventually dies. Most drownings happen in water. And water is the #1 form of wetness on this planet. And because of these things, I went out and bought a food saver to protect myself from water. Guys, today I'm going to talk to you about the food saver and what it can do to help you be prepared. I'm going to go over a few things that we've been using this for, and really the limits for this are only limited by your imagination. This is a great, wonderful thing. It is excellent for consolidation. Right here we have a pair of pants that are vacuum formed by this food saver, and it really cuts down on the size and area that the pants take up, but at the same time it waterproofs them. So that is really key. If you could have this folded over in a bug out bag, I mean, you never know. You most likely will open this up and use these before you have a situation where you fall into a river or lake or something like that, but you just never know. And the fact that you can, once you do that, even use the bag down the road is something to think about too. Here we also have a gas mask that has been vacuum sealed with the filter, everything like that. There's a simple gas mask for maybe not chemical or biological, but this will help nonetheless. It's good to have extra one of these around just in case somebody comes without a gas mask or anything like that. This too also is, you know, just another thing that you should have with prepping. Right here I've got an onion that is going on 2.5 weeks old in the fridge, cut. I cut it up so we could see how it's doing when I vacuum formed it, and it's still holding on strong. Now normally I'll have an onion last about 3 or 4 days if I wrap it in a Ziploc bag or aluminum foil or something like that. They just don't seem to last that long. As you can see, this one's still going strong after 2 weeks. There's no signs of anything. I mean, and yes, I have cut it open, and actually that's where you got this cut from. Tried it, it was great. Now you don't have to vacuum seal, you don't have to put a large seal on it. I've got these walkie-talkies which I basically put in a vacuum bag on 1104, and I just sealed it. I didn't suck all the air out, I just sealed it so they would stay nice and dry. In the case of emergency where you have some water or something like that, these will stay nice and dry. You know, protecting your electronics with these, that's another major part. While you can go and get resealable bags to do basically that, this I know is not gonna leak. I don't have to worry about it being afraid that it might eventually leak, and it's not something I really need to open and close. I could have folded like a lock sack and put that in here for the eventuality of opening it, but I didn't do that. I didn't really honestly think that ahead of time. But as you can see, this still works great. This would have been a more complete if I had a lock sack in here folded up with the walkie-talkies in this, protecting the lock sack, protecting the walkie-talkies. If I ever do open it up, I can just use the lock sack from that point on to keep them somewhat more water resistant. Here we have a pair of socks and dirty underwear from Donnie Brasco. He likes to wear dirty underwear that Chinese men wear, and then he buys them online. So right there, I mean, these things you could beat somebody to death with this thing.
How do you think I got the underwear?
I also like to vacuum seal bricks of batteries. Now, it's not because I'm worried about anything happening to them. It's just, it keeps them, in my mind, it keeps them fresh. So if I ever go to eat these batteries in the near future, I know they're fresh and they're fully charged. I like the electrolytes. Now, another thing that is very important is documentation. If you want to keep documentation dry, I have here, and I'm trying to make sure that this has nobody's information on it, which it doesn't. Like, this is the Chris Vector receipt, and the 4473 background check. And right here, I can't put it on, I gotta put it on this side, but right here I have something as simple as my birth certificate, social security card. I didn't vacuum seal this because it was a little too flimsy, so I just sealed this. And then of course your standard passport, just vacuum sealing that and making sure that you keep that dry. And you know, it's something where if you're not using it, just throw it in the vacuum sealer real quick. This way, if you do have something, even if your house has a fire, you know, one of the biggest things about having a house fire is the house fire may be contained to a certain area of the house, but the damage from the water that is caused can sometimes be almost as devastating as the fire itself. That's about it that I've got vacuum sealed right here to show you guys. What we're going to do next is we're going to vacuum seal some carrots. So what we basically do is you're going to have a black strip in here, and that's going to be your sealing surface. You want to put your bag so it covers that black strip, and then you're going to place this down. Once you push the seal button, you're going to hear the door close. It will close, and it will start to seal. That red ring around the seal button means that it is currently sealing. Very simple to use. Your kids can do this, your wives can do this, and even your cousins can do this that are named Donnie Brasco and not too bright. Alright, so that side of the bag is now, let me take this and put this, that side of the bag is now sealed. These bags are really cool. One side is kind of got a raised section, and then the other side is smooth. Now this basically helps with the air being able to come through it. It works through these jagged edges like a vein would. Okay. Now we're going to take our carrots and pour them in. Open up the bag here. Here's how I like to do it. Just put the bag down, put this over it, and then voila. Now, we don't want to just have a big clump down at the bottom. We're going to try to get this spread out as much as possible, but at the same time we don't want it spread out too much. Now comes the sealing part. This is real quick, simple. You do have two settings on here. You have dry and moist and normal and gentle. This is just going to be your standard setting. Now you can see in here there's going to be a little pocket right in here. That's where you want the end of the bag to go, inside that pocket, because that's where the vacuum is going to come from. And then once the vacuum is done, the black area will seal the bag. Just make sure our bag is nice and smooth. Put down a little pressure and hit vacuum and seal. And you're about to watch this thing get sucked. Now it's sealing. Once it's done sealing, just like it did, it just released. And as you can see, let's get this puppy to focus. As you can see, we have a nice seal all the way down. And this is literally a brick of carrots now. Real nice, simple. And this will stay a lot longer than the standard Ziploc bag that it comes in, this cheap little Ziploc bag. This will stay a lot fresher, a lot longer. Well guys, that's basically it. I did get this for a Christmas gift and it's worked out great. I've used it for tons of stuff. It's saved us from possible death by water, and it's saved us from any government stuff because we've been able to make a new form of aluminum foil hats. Works great. Vacuum seal some aluminum foil, curve that to your head. You've got aluminum foil with the protection of plastic, no ripping, no brain waves transmitted to you, everything. It's great. Alright guys, see you when the lizard people take over.